Are you a new manager? Is this your first appointment as a manager, or are you an experienced manager taking on a new team? Congratulations, exciting times ahead. For any manager, starting right is the difference between hitting the ground running with your team alongside you and months and sometimes even years of frustration and desperation. Every new manager wants to do a good job. Every new manager dreams of being a great leader who inspires their team to greatness and achieves great results and looks good in the process. I've been a coach for a long time, and I've worked with many managers at all levels who started off on the wrong foot, and it led to months and even years of struggle, pain, and frustration. And it really was unnecessary. My new program, Help, I'm a New Manager, is for you if you can say yes to any of the following. You're about to manage a team for the first time. You're an experienced manager and you're taking on a new team. You have recently started with your team and it's not unfolding as you hoped it would. Or you've been with your team for a while and it's been a real struggle. This program isn't for you if you don't yet have a team to manage. It is not a preparatory course. It's a really practical program that enables you to start well in your new role. So leading a team that seems not to accept or support you is really bad for your confidence. It's terrible for your reputation, and it can do real damage to your career. I have a story to share of a client I had called Eric, who had been managing his team for about a year. He's a really nice guy. He's a real gentleman. He's bright and he's thoughtful. He's sincere. He's caring. He's a great listener. All the ingredients that you would think would have assured his success. He was a foreigner leading a local team, so he was an outsider. In his team was someone who believed he should have got the job, and so did some of his colleagues. Eric didn't start right, and whilst in the beginning his team seemed to be okay with him, he really started to see the problems when he tried implementing decisions and making changes. Then what he got was resistance, failure to implement, offline discussions, gossip, general unhappiness. He was at a real loss because he was a good guy and he'd never had problems before. He'd been a really successful leader. He was confident as a leader, and yet nothing was working with this team. He struggled for a while, about 9 months, and then I came to talk to him. And my diagnosis was this. It was all about the way that he started. He didn't start things right with his team, and as a result, he had months of frustration and struggle. And the consequence was that it stalled his projects and created stress. And this was a real problem. He'd always had a lot of success. All his previous assignments had been completed successfully, but here he was quite late in his career, and he was really struggling to get to first base. So that had a huge impact on his confidence, as you can imagine. And of course, you have to wonder what it would do to his reputation if he continued to struggle and have so little success. He worked too long and too hard for this failure to be his legacy. Imagine being a manager for the very first time and struggling with your team like this. What would it do to your career? What would it do to your confidence? What would it do to your reputation? You don't need to go through this all yourself. Did you know that a full 50% of new managers fail in their first 24 months? It's a horrible number. Most of them fail because they're really, really busy. But they're busy with the wrong things. And they don't have enough time for the right things to get under control. They get stuck into what they think is the work before they've become clear on the most important things that they should give their time and attention to. The result is that they become the proverbial hamster on the wheel, running furiously and getting nowhere. And that's what happened to Eric. I have a great solution for you. My name is Belinda Davies, and I'm a coach. I help new managers to start right so that you can hit the ground running with your team alongside you, delivering results from the early stages of your tenure. In my course, Help, I'm a New Manager, I will help you get started right so that you handle your first day and your first week really well, so that your team gets you and you get them, so that you and your team figure out ways of working that work well for all of you, so that you're able to give your time and attention to your people and your most important work, and so that you're able to lead one successful conversation at a time, even about the most difficult topics. Being a great manager is about people, people, people. And if you don't get that right, it really doesn't matter what else you get right. So follow the link to sign up for my 5-part course, Help, I'm a New Manager. I'll guide you through your early days in your new role. I'll show you how to nail your first day and your first week, how to identify the vital signs that will tell you that all is or is not well with your team, how to decide how to spend your time and how to manage all the other demands on your time. I'll show you how to get the people thing right by leading well through successful conversations. And you'll design your own personal development plan that will support you in being successful in your new role. For each part of the course, you will receive a workbook, useful videos that support your learning, practical exercises that you can complete and send to me for feedback if you wish, and a reflection exercise. Finally, you'll complete your own Enneagram personality profile and will be eligible for a free 1-hour consultation with me to discuss your personality profile in relation to your development plan. So if you're a new manager and getting it right from the start really counts, if you can't afford to make a misstep and miss your only chance to get it right for the first time, if you recognize that starting right is the difference between hitting the ground running with your team alongside you and a downward desperate spiral towards frustration, then you should join me on my 5-part program, Help, I'm a New Manager. Follow the link to get started. My goal for today was to reassure you that starting well as a new manager is completely doable. It's not a mystery. It's not a matter of talent or charisma. It's a matter of getting a few key things right early on. So follow the link and join me on your winning journey. Thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, send me a direct message.